Hello, today we will be discussing the subject matter of welfare. This is Elise Thomas
and Emily Kland, and we will be debating the con side of welfare.
In America, there are some people who are for welfare,
and there are some who are against welfare. Welfare is provided by governments or their agencies, by private organizations, or a combination of both. Funding for welfare usually comes from the general government revenue, but when dealing with charities, donations may be used.
The War on Poverty is the unofficial name for legislation first introduced by United States President Lyndon B. Johnson during his State of the Union address in 1964. This legislation was proposed in response to a national poverty rate of around 19%. The speech led Congress to pass the Economic Opportunity Act, which established the Office of Economic Opportunity to administer the local application for federal funds created against poverty, and thus the public welfare system was introduced. However, this has caused some conflict.
You cannot help men permanently by doing for them what they could and should do for themselves. Abraham Lincoln.
In this graph, the welfare cost continues to rise over the years, while the rates of poverty remain constant.
This represents the number of households that receive some form of cash benefits for every 100 poor families with children, which, as you can tell, is higher than it should be.
Not by all, but by some people, the benefits of welfare are taken advantage of. They abuse the money given to them by the government to buy unnecessary wants instead of needs.
In the business world, people feel as if they put a lot of effort to gain hard-earned money, while those relying on welfare don't need to work as hard when they are being as supported by the government.
This political comic shows people abusing their welfare rights to buy wants, only to settle themselves back into debt, causing them to need welfare again.
This chart shows just how much welfare is costing in millions, yet not making a difference in the poverty rates.
A program created to serve those in need of welfare, specifically with food stamps, was SNAP, also known as Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program.
However, many food stamps have been abused. Some people try to buy unnecessary items with such and/or try to gain money from them. People tend to rely too much on them.
Another example with abusing food stamps is when people find loopholes and manage to trade their stamps in for cash, eventually buying things they cannot get with a regular EBT card, which is an electronic benefit transfer.
Again, this graph shows that food stamps are most commonly used to purchase junk food rather than more nutritious or beneficial options. This is another form of abusing public welfare rights.
The government has been putting a large amount of money into the welfare programs, and it has only continued to rise increasingly over the years since the war on poverty began.
$1 trillion is spent on an anti-poverty program each year, or $87,000 per family of 4 in poverty, but for some reason, 46 million people remain in poverty. Clearly, something isn't working. One of the biggest reasons that's the most responsible for continuing the problem of poverty is that there is too much welfare to prevent initiative.
The second biggest issue next to the food programs is the matter of medical insurance. As we all know, healthcare is pretty pricey, but with the help of medical insurance, some costs can be covered. People began taking this too far, however, when demands were made to have large, popular, and optional procedures done for lower costs. One of the biggest examples here is that of abortion.
Not all people eligible for welfare collect benefits, however. When they do, many of the benefits are contingent on the recipients working or actively searching for jobs as a result of an overhaul of welfare signed into law by President Bill Clinton in 1996. And even low-income families receive some level of public assistance.
The reason welfare is bad is not because it costs too much, nor because it undermines the work ethic, but because it is intrinsically at odds with the way human beings come to live satisfying lives. Charles Allen Murray.
Thank you for watching our presentation on public welfare.